Hey guys, Joe Dickinson here, and I wanted to shoot a very quick video explaining something that Tony Robbins actually brought to my attention in one of his training videos, and I think that it's so incredibly valuable for people to really understand it. And it's funny because it's something that everyone understands and they know, but it's maybe not too clear, and that's identity. You know, whatever people have their identity attached to, that's what they live. You know, we live who we believe we are. It's just how it works. So whatever we identify ourselves as, that's how we're going to live, and that's what we're going to preserve, our identity. You know, so here's an example. Look at your physical body right now, today. That's an absolute reflection of one thing, not your goals, you know, not your desires, your standards, your identity you have for yourself, what you believe you are. So if you're an athlete, for example, you have a certain amount of strength, energy, you know, muscle tone, whatever you want to call it, that's within your body, that's available on an everyday basis because that's who you are. And you do whatever is necessary to maintain that identity. So, you know, one of the strongest forces in the personality of the human body is to stay consistent, you know, with how we define ourselves. And once you lock in that identity, you know, your brain finds a way to keep you there. So, you know, here's an example. You might say something like, I'm going to lose weight this year, but man, I'm overweight. I've always been overweight. I'm big boned. Well, you will always find a way to get back there because that's what you've identified yourself as. You've always been overweight. You're big boned. That's who you are. That's who you truly believe that you are. And you'll take consistent action and you'll do certain things every single day to stay there, regardless of whether you want to or not, because you've identified yourself as that. So on the contrary, you see someone who's physically fit. You ask them, you work out? You know the answer. And they're going to tell you, yeah, I work out 3, 4, 5 times a week. Why do they do that? Because that's who they are. They've identified themselves as that. They've identified themselves as an athlete. They've identified themselves as someone who is physically fit. And because of that, they take daily action to preserve that. You know, they raise their standards. Their standards are to stay physically fit. They do consistent action to stay that way, to preserve that identity. What am I talking about with consistent action? I'm talking rituals. Things you do consistently every single day to preserve where you are, to preserve that identity of whatever it is that you believe that you are. You know, so I'm not saying you need to go work out 3, 4 times a day. I'm just saying that whatever you really want in life, you know, wants don't get met consistently, all right? But standards do. And when you can raise your standards and you have an overall vision of what you want to be, you can make that happen with consistent action. All right, so, you know, people don't get results without some sort of consistent action. Results don't just pop out of the blue. They come with rituals, with consistent action that you take every single day. All right, so once you kind of lock in what it is you want to be or how you identify yourself, that's who you'll become. All right, so you got to remember, we live who we believe we are. That's the simplest way of putting it. So however you identify yourself is how you're going to live. When you change your identity, you can change your life. When you change your vision, when you decide you want to be somewhere else, and you identify yourself as a person who's going to be where you want to be, you'll take consistent action. You have no choice but to take consistent action because your brain is going to tell you to do that. The subconscious mind is so incredibly powerful. And mindset is so big, and it all starts with your identity. We live who we believe we are. That's the takeaway here. All right, so start changing, if you want to change, I'm saying, your identity. Change who you want to be. Make it happen. It's a new year. You have a whole year to do this. You don't have to do it all right now, but change some rituals. Change some things you do on a consistent basis. Change who you believe you truly are. And you can make the magic happen. Guys, think about it. Hope this helped. Subscribe to my channel and definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks.